All right, guys, so we have a really interesting clip to talk about here. Apparently, somebody released a video of RFK talking to Trump on the phone, and I think it's after the shooting, because Trump is going to, like, allude to what it felt like what the shooting felt like. He says something about a mosquito, like, sounded like a mosquito, a big mosquito is going by my ear. That's the whizzing of the bullet he's referring to. So anyway, I think I saw reporting that it's like RFK's son that put this out there, and then they like insta-deleted it. As soon as they realized they posted it, they insta-deleted it. And there's a reason why they deleted it. You're about to see why it is. See if you can catch it when you're listening to this, why RFK felt like, you better go and delete that immediately. But here's RFK. He's just sort of like listening to Trump babble, and Trump says a couple things here that are points of interest. Here we go.
I agree with you, man. Something's wrong with that whole system. Yeah. And, and it's the doctors you find. Remember I said I want to do small doses. Small doses. When you feed a baby, Bobby, a vaccination that has like 38 different vaccines, and it looks like it's meant for a horse, not a 10-pound or 20-pound baby. It looks like you should be giving a horse this, and do you ever see the size of it, right? It's this massive. And then you see the baby all of a sudden starting to change.
So Trump is sort of like buttering up RFK on the issue of vaccines. They give the baby so many vaccines. It's like 38, and it looks like it's meant for a horse. And I think something bad has to be happening there. Something is not okay. So he's trying to like relate to him on the level of, hey, you're anti-vaccine? I'm kind of anti-vaccine too. I'm letting you know they give too many of them, and when they're too young, and maybe we should do something about that, and maybe we should look into, is this really safe? So this is trying to find some common ground. Here we go. We're not done yet.
I've seen it too many times, and then you hear that it doesn't have an impact, right? But you and I talked about that a long time ago. And anyway, I would love you to do stuff, and I think it'll be so good for you and so big for you, and we're gonna win. We're way ahead of the guy. And, he's interesting. It was very nice, actually. He called me, and he said...
RFK looks like barely interested at all in what he's saying. But that moment right there when he says, we're going to win, who's we? Who's we? What are you talking about? All right, one more time. Even I'm trying to, like, decipher what all of this means. But the we're going to win is pretty weird to say to somebody who you're literally running against. Here we go.
But you and I talked about that a long time ago. And anyway, I would love you to do stuff, and I think it'll be so good for you and so big for you, and we're gonna win. We're gonna win. We're way ahead of the guy, and he's interesting. It was very nice, actually. He called me, and he said, "How did you choose to move to the right?" So I guess that's people say, if I was looking straight on it. He said, I said I was just showing a chart. I didn't have to tell him the chart was on all the people pouring into our country, but. I just turned my head to show the chart, and something wrapped me. It felt like a giant, like the world's largest mosquito. And it was a bullet going around. What do they call that, an AR-15 or something? That was a big gun. Those are pretty tough guns, right?
All right, so what I'm able to take from that is, so first they start talking about vaccines, then he pivots to like talking about the race. I think he's talking about the Biden phone call in there, and him and Biden were talking, and Biden was like, man, how did you decide to turn your head to the right? And he explained I was showing a chart, etc. But again, he says to RFK, I think you should do that or something like that in the middle here. I don't know if RFK said he was going to do something to help Trump or pro-Trump, but then when Trump says, we're going to win, again, who's we? This is somebody you're running against.
It doesn't have an impact, right? But you and I talked about that a long time ago. And anyway, I would love you to do stuff, and I think...
I would love you to do so. You'd love him to do what? You'd love him to do what? And then again, here comes the point one more time.
It'll be so good for you and so big for you. And we're going to win. We're going to win. We're way ahead of the guy.
We're going to win. We're way ahead of the guy. The guy I think he's referring to is Biden, obviously. We're going to win. We're way ahead. So look, the question has to be asked. Is the reason why RFK pulled this? If he just left it up, I don't know, maybe you could have read something else into it. But the fact that he pulled it down quickly leads me to believe he knows that sounds like they're in cahoots. The phone call sounds like they're in cahoots. When he says, we're going to win, who's we? Who's we? Did Trump offer RFK a position in his administration to run and try to take votes from Biden to help Trump out. And by the way, if that is the plan, it's not sure that it's going to work out like that. I mean, Trump is up in all the polls right now, to be clear, right? But really no help to RFK, because there's some polls that show RFK helps Trump, and there's some polls that show RFK hurts Trump. It's like, what's going to win out? Is the Kennedy name going to win out? Will he take more Democratic votes for that reason? Or is the fact that Kennedy is very right-wing coded these days, is that going to help him take right-wing votes, right? We don't know yet. And again, there's contradictory evidence, but we're going to win. I don't know, man. That's a sketchy moment right there. And, look, watching this clip, I think it's reasonable to assume perhaps there was discussions beforehand, and the goal was for RFK to run to take votes from Biden, to try to take votes from Biden to help out Trump. That is absolutely possible based on this phone call. Because the other thing is, I understand RFK calling him after the assassination attempt. He should. Anybody who's in the race or anywhere remotely in politics within arm's reach of these people, they should call. But it sounds like they're more chummy than we thought before. It sounds like they've had previous conversations, doesn't it? So I don't know. Am I getting too conspiratorial here? I'm curious what all you guys believe, because he posted it, pulled it down quickly. Everybody points out the part where he says, we're going to win. Who's we? Why are you saying we? Would you and RFK are in this together? How so? How are you in this together? What was the plan? So I think we need more. I think we need more information on this, but this is certainly something to take note of, because the consequences would be dire if there indeed was a plan and they're trying to put that plan into place, and effectively RFK is running to try to throw the election to Trump. Well, the good news for Trump is, honestly, at this point, however RFK impacts the race, it might make no difference. If you freeze everything in time right now, Trump's already kind of comfortably up, but very sketchy to say the least. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.